Good afternoon, honorable judges, my worthy opponents. I'm Nafisa. Pleasantly express my thanks for your interest in discussing our motion today about this house would close Atira Junior High School. And as previously stated, I am Harabi standing against the motion. And if I have your permission, I would like to begin by defining the motion. Due to several reasons, the government agrees to stop the performance of Atira Junior High School. But first thing first, we need to understand why this motion came up in the very first place. So at Wednesday, 24 May 2023, there was a case occurred on Atira Junior High School in Makassar, where one of its students was found dead after falling from the 8th floor of the school. Because this case caused a lot of controversies, many people also proposed to stop the performance of Atira Junior High School. That can lead into a permanent closing of the school. And for the status quo, there is a case that is still mysterious in Atira Junior High School regarding to the death of one of its students. This case then one-handedly closed by the police and it causes controversy where it can possibly endanger the performance of Atira Junior High School. By one-handedly close this case, we as negative team believes that this will cause us another problem instead of actually closing it. People will throw a distrust phase which not only affects those who close the case itself, but even more mostly towards Atira Junior High School instead. They will assume that this school is doing something wrong and gonna think that this school is problematic right after, ignoring it's actually super possible that it's not actually their fault in the reality, and also boosting the possibility of new created stigma. And this is terrifying. That's why our goal is to convince the society to clear their minds again in a way to prevent the born of another stigma and controversies which can potentially risk the running of Atira Junior High School by supporting the reopen of the death case on Atira Junior High School. But we also believe that it's important to define the actor analysis. So right now we have private foundation owner of Atira Junior High School that having the authority to make decisions about their foundation. And then we have police force are being able to decide which step they're gonna choose, including opening case that once was being closed. And third, we have society that holding an important role to create sense of majority and also massive movement that has a huge power to influence the decide of anything. Since the case is still not clear yet, we have to assume that there's still no way solving problem here. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me try to give my observation result here. We both agree that every school is responsible of anything happen to their students, especially about them inside of the school. We are agree that every human being deserve for having the best fulfillment of their rights. In this case, yes, we are also agree that we can find several acts of right violations. And yes, we are absolutely understand, even more in such fragile case, there's rationally must be a serious solving problem move. Therefore, if we just casually throw this case away, it's totally reasonable if there's gonna be controversies, rejection, even emotion to permanently close the Atira Junior High School. But in fact, closing of a school is not a trivial thing. We can't just simply close this Atira Junior High School without thinking about another risk that might be born. Right now, we're facing the problem that people are still drowning in the middle of controversies ocean. They argue, throw waves to each other, continuously spread bad news, make it seems hard for them to think clearly and wisely instead of panicking. It's an urgent matter to immediately calm the situation in order to take wise steps. The most feasible way is to reopen the case and then allow this case to be resolved quickly in a way that satisfies all parties. Because we could potentially put innocent people at risk if we suddenly shut down this case as well as this school. This is why we think it's justified. Ma'am and sir, second matter point, we are 100% understand that the victim of this case holding one of the highest right to get fair responsible act. But without putting aside the victim rights, we have to also think about every human being's right. We both know there's not only one student in a school. We also need to understand that schools includes the rights of all students without exception. The rights of teachers, the rights of employees who work there, cleaning services, and even all elements included in the name of school foundation. By simply closing the school, we can cause a cascade effect that moves like dominoes, crashing against each other. Don't we think that hundreds of other students will lose their place of study, endangers their academic achievements, especially those in the middle of third grade of junior high school? They can lose the opportunity to be one step closer to graduation. Then, do the other children also have to repeat their grade from the beginning? Does hundreds of students have to lose their dreams by dropping out of school, though? Who will guarantee they can all be accepted back at another school? Then which company is willing to give a decent job to a junior high school graduate? Of course, employees and teachers will also lose their jobs. Private foundations employ a large number of people, equals a large number of potential of unemployment also. Well, right now, come on, let's just focus on our main problem. It's okay. Regarding the victim in this case, if the solution we make rationally decides to close the school, won't all the justice he deserves to get just be buried with the wreck of the school? This case will then die with the closing of Atira Junior High School. Closing the school is definitely not the solution. To sum up the debate, my man sir, we have served over arguments. First, it's an urgency to separate the bare difference between bad impressions of Atira Junior High School with actual fact. Second of all, we fight for the whole marital rights, not only for couple parties. And then the closing of Atira is not the solution we need. To close this debate, we proudly oppose the motion.